The Evening Show starts now.
This one is dedicated to all of me queen. All of me queen. I heard you had a rough day yesterday. I heard about the hurtful things they said to you. It made you feel some kind of way.
Hey guys, the evening show. We are here again, streaming live on your preferred device. Today, the 16th day of August 2020. And with me, my beautiful co-host, Rachel Cowie-Clarke, co-owner of Anything Honey. Anything Honey that you want? That's the lady right there. Next to her is the very beautiful as well, Melina de Silva. Now, I said beautiful because anything beauty, you can go check them out. Beauty with Grace Salon and Spa. Don't stick, yeah? Thank you, Beauty with Grace. And of course, hey, we gotta say thanks to Twigs Naturals for our tea. We got mint, we got ginger, we got all. You just go check them out. When we say it, it's because we want you to go check out their platforms on Instagram, Facebook. Just go check them out, all right? And we're at the beginning of our episode 3. And ladies, you know what we have to remind them?
Like, subscribe, call a friend, dial, message them, tell them, come now. It's showing now.
And share it on your page too, your own page, because you know that's where some people will find you. So make sure and share it there as well. Put it on your WhatsApp status.
Hey, we gotta say thanks to those that have been following and subscribing. Thank you.
Yes, so much of you. Thank you.
Part of the family. Yeah?
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you. Now, ladies, just want to get into some things quickly before we get to our featured segments. COVID. Gosh, increasing numbers.
It is increasing.
And my question is, what have you guys been putting in place in terms of preventative measures? Let me tell you, for me, it's really major, right? All my husband's shoes are outside the house. Yeah, your drawers dropped. I'm taking this really seriously. I have older folks around me, people with immune deficiencies, and I think I want to take that personal responsibility to protect others. My mask, I'm always masked up here, guys. I can't wear my mask here because I'm home. I'm doing the right responsible thing. I'm home. We are more than social distancing. We're way beyond 6 feet apart. I'm wearing my mask everywhere that I go. What are some of the things you guys been doing though?
I got a gun. I did. I went. Yes, it is yellow and black as well. I should have had it. Yeah.
Man, you can't start off with you got a gun.
I got a temperature gun.
Thank you.
Yes, because I have 4 babies at home and a husband and myself. And I work from home, and so customers are coming, they're leaving, but I need, when they're coming, to make sure that they're coming at a very low temperature, because we cannot afford to compromise the individuals that are above. So I did get a gun. Yes, I did. I have a gun. It was loaded.
Well, in my space, it's simple. My husband and I, it's just 2 of us at home, and we try to ensure we sanitize the surfaces regularly. We also make sure if you come home, like you went to travel to Tobago, he's in the bees, he's a beekeeper pretty often. Those clothes stay outside. They hit the washing machine much faster. So I'm doing a lot more washing. But just to take care and personal responsibility, we have masks in the car, the vehicles right now. So if you forget your mask at home, we made sure we have mask and sanitizer available.
Mel, let me ask you, are you sending the children out? I know you have 4 kids at home.
Sending them where? Out with who? Out with these people who are not wearing masks, not washing their hands. As we said at the beginning, the numbers are rising, and that's because people are not taking precautions. I mean, Dr. Dayal Singh and the CMO is doing the most in terms of trying to keep us aware and to just highlight the fact that we need to be wearing the mask. We need to be social distancing. We need to not be gathering in large groups of people. But us Trinis seem to think that COVID is a Trini, and he's not.
Yeah.
He does not care about us, and he has moved in, and I would like him to move out. So, no, my children are not going out because apparently he's still here. He's still here. So, no, they're not going that place.
Melissa, what about you? Does your baby girl go anywhere?
It may be by a relative, if I ensure that she wears her mask.
Okay.
Actually, she looks forward to wearing her mask. It's like a thing. And that's the thing. We're afraid that the younger ones are not going to adjust, but it's their. I can't even say their new norm. It's our new norm, the older generation, but it's becoming. This is what we do.
That's
mommy. Yeah, and if she sees someone without a mask, she makes mention to it.
And it's so funny. One little girl at our church told us that she invited somebody to church. She told them all you need to do is ensure you wear your mask and you could come. And this is like a 6-year-old.
Yeah,
and
you see?
They have adopted mentally, and it's just about a matter of us taking that personal responsibility.
And ladies, listen, if someone is looking to purchase a home, maybe they just want to be somewhere that is COVID-free, well, then this next feature is definitely for you. Maybe it's an immediate or future purchase. Here are some steps towards mortgage approvals, and it's all brought to you by Park Place Realty.
Nice.
Hello, this is Shadi, your realtor at Park Place Realty. Today we're going to talk about a few steps before purchasing a house. So, you're really excited. You decided now it's time to purchase your first home. So you're going to get a realtor, go look at houses, and hopefully choose one. Is that what you should do? No, it's not. Step 1. So the first thing anyone should do is take care of those little things that might show up in your credit report. For example, if you know you have some late pays. Late pays meaning you routinely pay late on your credit card, your car loans, your personal loans, even hire purchase. All these things will show up as a negative in your credit report and hamper you from getting the mortgage you need. So make sure you get yourself together on any current debt obligations. This does not necessarily mean paying your loans off. It just means paying them on time every month. Step 2, understand your finances. Take a good look at your finances. Get an idea of what you feel you may be able to be approved for. You can use the several online mortgage calculators to see what payments may look like per month. So, for instance, a first-time homeowner, there are several factors that could come into play here. One being if you're single, how many incomes are in your household, how long you've been employed for, your employment status, whether it's seasonal, full-time, part-time, contract. So there are several online mortgage calculators you can use to help you in this step. It would show you what a payment may look like per month. Step 3, start collecting all your documents. Almost all, if not all, mortgage lenders, they're going to ask you for these basic documentation. That is 2 forms of ID. This could be either your passport, your national ID, or your driver's permit. A recent payslip, job letter, confirmation of savings and debt. If you're self-employed, it's a bit trickier. They'll ask you for evidence to support your income. This would be financial statements from 1 year to 3 years, depending on the individual who's applying, as well as the mortgage lender you're applying to. Your mortgage specialist will then need your authorization to perform a credit check. So please get these things even before you call your mortgage specialist. Step 4, your down payment. While there are several mortgage programs, mortgage promotions from each lender, they offer you from 100% financing to 90% financing. Some even offer 95% financing. It just all depends on your situation. So after all of this, you can get a general sense of who you're going to use as your realtor or agent if you're going to be shopping for houses. Please choose one realtor or one agent to work with. So guys, it was really important for me to discuss this issue in full detail because a lot of people don't do these things ahead of time, and unfortunately it results in the whole process becoming a disappointing scenario. Instead of, hey, I'm ready to buy a house, buying my first home should be fun, it actually turns out sometimes to be either tragic, disappointing, or a whole lot of work unnecessarily. So I really hope this video would help a lot of folks avoid any of that. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you have any questions regarding real estate or mortgages, please feel free to call me, DM, WhatsApp 385-1669. Bye.
Hey guys, welcome back to the evening show. And today we have so much more in store for you. We're going to be chatting with Dr. James Clarke. He's a naturopath, and I know he's loaded with information that may shock you a bit. It may make you consider, I think I'll watch next week's episode. But you know what? It's good information to help you. It's all about being better, and I think being better helps you to leave a better legacy. In general. Now, ladies, we want to discuss health and wellness. What are some steps we are personally taking or even advising others? And I'm going to Melina with this one immediately because she's been posting her videos and her pics, more so pics. Actually, Mel, I haven't seen any in a while, but what is happening? What is happening on your end when it comes to...
So let me tell you what's happening, right? So because of Sister Corona, Brother Corona, whoever he or she is, we've had to go to PriceMart to get my almond milk. And because it's usually a line, a very, very long line, my husband does not like to make the trip. And I am usually home with the children or working, because you all know I work from home. So making that trek to there for me, not really possible. So for him to go is like the long line, babe, that line does be underneath the car park. So I haven't been getting my milk to make my smoothies. But I have switched up the smoothie mornings with more of a granola and nut morning. So I've switched off. He goes to the grocery, so I switch out the smoothie with the yogurt. So now it's yogurt and granola. Because I cut out the bread. Because bread, there's lime on my waist. I don't know about all you, but the minute you eat a slice of bread in the morning, you are going to see it around my waist like a waistband. It's there. It is going to be there. Some people, maybe Rachel, don't have that issue. Just eat. You realize if you check your slim friends, they'll be eating, not even caring.
More than you.
Counting, not an issue. But the minute you eat a mini roti, that's it. You're buckling up the face. You
become the roti. You become
the roti. And I just not that blessed. My husband can eat anything. It's like we eat.
Mel, this is where you let them know he's about 100 pounds.
And we eat more than me. Like what is going on? I try to metabolism. And you had to try to stay away from juice. You had to drink more water, all kind of things, just to maintain some semblance of your youth. And then you don't have this struggle.
Oh gosh, I'm told as we get older, the eating habits will catch up. So I still have to I still have to make better choices with my eating. So for me, one of the things that I have adopted is eating Greek yogurt. The plain Greek yogurt. I never liked it before because it was too tart. So I add honey, I add almonds, and I would add in sometimes craisins or other little granola type stuff. So that actually is a perfect morning snack or breakfast. And it actually, it's excellent. I enjoy it.
Some honey.
Believe you me. I did a post it some time ago, but it's one of those healthy fixes that I do for breakfast because I get other types of yogurt, and they have a lot of sugar and that type of thing. So it was one way to reduce my sugar because I like yogurt.
I hear you. What do you do?
Yeah, I just want to jump on. She said it will catch up. I have an aunt. Hi, Aunt Heather. in her youth, if she weighed 120, she would eat a lot, right? And
Yes.
she would eat anything. I don't mean glutton-like, but she would consume anything.
Mhm.
I love her, but it caught up.
and believe
So
you
I'm
me,
frightened now though. Because if it's catching up with this slimmer, what will happen to us? What will happen to us who we didn't get our time out? It's almost like if we get our time out and then it will, but us is like, oh God, we forever on a treadmill. What is happening?
gosh.
We have to maintain our age. For me though, I was a big juice drinker, and I really lessened on that. It was to the point that now that I'm drinking way more water, my husband realizes that, hey, we have juice. I'm a bit ashamed about it, but it's the truth.
You would make the juice and drink all of the juice.
Yeah, right.
Or
Can
most
have
of the
myself.
juice.
I may have left
You need some.
Yeah,
I feel your struggle. My husband has the same complaint, but now I'm trying to drink more water as well. But
Yeah.
before, Price might have the 3-carton party mix.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So we will buy that, and
I
then
know
we'll
very
have to
well.
buy more. We'll have to buy more juice to make juice before the end of the month. And here to baby, you're pulling another glass. So I'm like, hello. I just needed to get a top up, and it will be a top up with every meal. So you'll have a glass, and then you just, feel
Just
to
one
just
more.
wash down. Yeah, just a little wash down. But it don't work out. Because it comes out on my skin. It is just, we're just not fortunate like Rachel. It's not working out for us.
But I'm not a juice person, I would drink
Look,
water.
hear the next thing now.
Yeah.
Hear the next thing.
I was never really a juice or soft drink, that type of thing.
Yeah. I'm not a soft drink person.
No, I'm not. That's not issue. But juice and nice fruit punch. Oh dear Jesus!
But we've also added we got some bikes recently. So I decided I really wanted a bike, and I said, well, I don't think he realized that if I had to get a bike, then he had to get a bike as well. So we got some bikes, and we would go around the parks and the community and get some exercise in. We've done a good bit, 8K, almost 10K, just riding. Yeah. I usually feel very proud of myself at the end.
You should, because I don't ride pretty often. I don't get much exercise. But when I actually ride, my legs start hurting in no time at all. So I look at you people who I would call long distance riders and say, I need to get my act together.
I use that Fitbit. My brother, hi Ishmael, hello buddy. He bought me a Fitbit for my birthday, and so when you check the amount, yeah, he's a darling. So by the end of the day, you'll see how much steps. So if you realize, wait now, this is all I do for the day. Of course, some extra jumping jacks just to get in that number. It's like, we need to top this up a little bit, just a little bit. We need to increase this number. So you do the necessary to get it in, just to get our sweat equity in there for the day.
Yeah, well, I used to keep track of my steps from home to the office, but now I barely make a couple 100 steps. So I have to be intentional about stretching, taking a walk and getting some movement in.
Yeah.
But my office is in my living room. That's just 10 steps?
And Rachel, that's the thing I think that's happening now. Right? We now have to find another way to get exercise in. And I guess that can be added as part of the new norm.
Yes, it is.
Apart from when you're masked.
And that could be family bonding as well, because you've made it so.
Yes, I have. And listen, ladies, go get those bags, because I get him to talk from beginning of the ride all the way.
Quality time, man. Oh,
well done.
That was sneaky.
One stone.
I must confess, I think I'll try it with my husband. I'll see if we can buy a bike, or two, because we have one of those spin bikes at home.
Right.
It's a hanger.
Okay. Clothes just resting on it.
And I have this the resistance bands. I put it there. It's hanging that there, and the long one, the short one, the skipping rope. Those are hanging.
There. Get together.
Please.
I need to tell you, it's gonna catch up. I have an aunt that they used to call Bones, and Bones ain't Bones no more.
You see what I mean? Hey, ladies. Anyhow, listen, we have to get to our next feature. And
Yes.
it's the feature that I think we're most proud of, our Leaving a Legacy feature.
Yes.
Check it out, guys. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, my name is James Saunders. I am a broadcast sport professional, sport anchor, and professional commentator. One of the biggest obstacles or challenges that I would have faced would have been growing up in a small rural community, trying to come out of that to move into quote-unquote bigger sphere. Firstly, I had to change my entire mindset. When you come from a small community, you have to get past that inferiority complex. You have to get past all the stigma associated with that, and really prove myself, So just proving myself coming from a small community, coming up to a bigger city was a great obstacle that I had to overcome. I overcame it with the help of and support of my family and friends. My family has always been, pretty supportive of me, so with that support, and, I had some really good friends as well, who encouraged me and said, hey, James, listen, you represent us, the support of the people from my community, St. Mary's Village, Moruga as well, every time people see you, they give you that encouragement, and, that really put a lot of responsibility on my shoulder that I took really seriously, and that helped me to overcome the barriers and succeed. The best advice I've been given, it actually came from my aunt, and it was a pretty simple advice, was just do it. No, it's not a Nike commercial. For years, growing up, I always said, hey, I want to become a journalist. And, one day, my aunt, put me square in her office and she said, James, I've always heard you speaking about wanting to become a journalist. What's going on with that? And I had the world of excuses, I checked places, I sent my resume, and she's like, stop, stop making excuses. Just do it. Even if you have to start as a janitor somewhere, even if you have to find a way to do it, just do it. And I went home and I was like, what does she mean, just do it? But I took it literally. And the next day I walked into a newspaper office, a TT Mirror office, and I said, hey, I want to become a journalist, and voila. One of the best advice that I think that I have given or would give to anybody is to be yourself. Be you. Be the best version of you. Many people are stuck, for the entire lifetime or the length and breadth of their career, trying to fill the mold of someone else. Hey, nobody's interested in you being someone else. Be the best version of you. Find out what makes you unique. Find your unique value proposition, because that's what the world needs right now. The world needs a brand new you. All right, not anybody else. You. Everybody else is taken, but you can only be you. I'm grateful to God that I have been fortunate to achieve quite a lot. And I don't even think I want to pinpoint anything specific. I just want to, I'm just really grateful and humbled, to have been successful or somewhat successful in many spheres, because I've been fortunate enough to have done most of the things that I dreamed about. I played football professionally. I became a news anchor. I started my broadcast career. So I've recorded numerous songs to hear my songs playing on the radio, playing all over the world. I'm a sport commentator. I have been fortunate to commentate on some of the biggest matches, CPL matches, international matches. I did the commentary when Trinidad and Tobago historically booted the US out of the World Cup. Growing up, in my wildest dreams, that might have never been something that I would have considered or thought about. I've had the opportunity to travel to various countries doing what I love, and that is something that I really cherish, and I really thank God for. I definitely, I'm a disciple of that whole team and that support system. Many people try to do things, or be an island, pure one-man army, but you can only go so far as one person. Just picture Trinidad without Tobago. Tobago needs Trinidad just as much as Trinidad needs Tobago. It's that symbiotic union that makes us as powerful as we are. I think definitely it is important to leave a legacy, because I am a firm believer that we are all here to accomplish our purpose. The artist Chronic says, I am a legend that maybe you've never heard of before. You're a legend as well. I just want to leave the legacy of hope, especially for people coming out of rural communities like I would have come out of in Moruga or whatever part of the world, or for all you underdogs, I just want to let you know that there is a pathway for you to achieve. You just have to be persistent. So I want that when people see me, that they see a symbol of persistence and more importantly, they see persistence and hard work is rewarded, with faith. So when you combine persistence, faith, and hard work, anything is achievable, anything is possible, and that's a legacy that I want to leave. I want to see more people, more underdogs rise to the ranks and succeed in whatever sphere in life that they are part of. See you next time. Catch you later.
Hey guys, welcome back. The evening show. Now, today we're going to be talking with a gentleman who is one of the most humble beings I've come across thus far. One of, all right? Now, it is none other than Dr. James Clark. He is a naturopath and he has been in the wellness industry for just about 34 years. Now, he is the co-owner of Lifestyle Medicine Center. And today we are going to chat with him. And Dr. Clark, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Today we want to just take from you as much as we can get when it comes to health. First of all, why is it called a lifestyle disease, and what is the difference? And can you just give a bit of explanation on that just before we get into everything else?
Okay, well, there are basically two types of diseases. If you would just put them in two categories, we would talk about lifestyle diseases and we would talk about communicable diseases. So lifestyle diseases has to do with diseases, most of the diseases that plague us here in the West, in the Western society. And we're talking about things like diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, cancer, arthritis, lupus. All of these are associated with your lifestyle. Communicable diseases would be things like COVID. This is all in the news right now. So in other words, nobody could sneeze or cough in your face and give you a heart attack.
No.
Maybe they could scare you to death, yes. But really, nobody gives you cancer. It's not something that you pick up like that. It is something that comes with a lifestyle that is not conducive to the best of health.
I was listening to about 2 weeks ago, your program that you had on Sky 99.5.
Yes.
And you were talking about the blood.
Yes.
Something that the state that it is in, it would affect our entire body as it pertains to health and everything pertaining to our health. So how do we do right by our blood as the foundation for a healthy lifestyle?
Interesting question. The blood actually is the cornerstone of your life. It is the fountain of life. It is everything to do with your life. The quality of your blood determines the quality of your health, big time. So when we're talking about blood, we're talking about what do we do to create good blood, or what could we do to actually cause problems with our blood. Creating good blood has to do with our eating and even things like exercising and so forth. So this is why we talk about lifestyle. But good blood is generated by the nutrition that you put into your system. Good blood is generated by the type of thoughts that you carry. Good blood is generated by your activity. What kind of, if you are a couch potato, as opposed to if you're somebody that exercise, because we're talking about more oxygenation and stuff like that. So there are a number of factors that in fact impact our blood, the quality of our blood.
So you think that during this COVID time, a lot of us probably have negatively impacted our blood? Because I mean, a lot of people have been home where they would have been active previously. They couldn't exercise, they couldn't go out to the office, working at your desk, your home office, and longer hours in some instances.
Well, yes and no. Yes, if you think that going to the gym is the only way that you have to exercise. But I want to say that there are a number of things that you could do right at home. So while I'm not a gym person, I started again to do some stuff at home, and I try to do things without equipment so that I do not have excuses.
Right.
So what I would do simply push-ups, squats, sit-ups, pull-ups, and that you have no excuses when it comes to that, because you're talking about just using your body, no equipment.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if I travel, if I go to Tobago or where I go, I could always do some push-ups. And those of us who cannot do that, what we could also do is just take a little walk just around the house. I see people in the area I am here who would just walk in the car park. They would just be making up and down laps in the car park. So yes, COVID could impact our health negatively simply by staying home, but at the same time, we could do something about action and movement.
You also said that your thoughts impact your blood.
Big time.
Help us understand that.
Our bodies and our minds are connected, and well, you see right behind me, there's a microscope here. So when we do live blood assessments, we take a little drop of capillary blood and put it under that microscope. It is displayed on a monitor right on the desk here as well. One of the things that we would find is that people who are angry or people who are sad and stuff like that, you could actually see the effect of it in the blood, because thoughts create emotions, and emotions create certain type of hormones. So we're talking about adrenaline. So if somebody comes up behind you and scare you, right away, fight or flight hormone kick in. So your adrenaline, your cortisol level goes up, everything. Right away at the same time, we could actually see that in the blood, because you're going to see your blood start to react to that. So your thoughts. I have a friend had a friend who grief caused his death. He died from congestive heart failure. And it was a heart issue because it was grief. He'd never dealt with a situation of his wife dying. Wow. And over a year, he had not been upstairs in his bedroom. He had never slept in the bedroom. And we were talking about it, and he developed congestive heart failure. And he's somebody who was living on good quality supplements, but supplements was not enough to deal with that. He had to deal with the emotional state. And I was just listening to a Stanford study with somebody talking about cardiovascular diseases and emotion. So there's a lot to share in that. I can't share everything at once, but of course, your thing. So when the Bible says, for instance, we ought to forgive our enemies, it's not so much for our enemies' sake, it is for our own sake. So forgiveness brings peace, it brings a lot of resolution, because the craziest thing with that is that you and somebody genuinely did do you wrong. They did do something evil or horrible to you. Until you give that up, until you give that to God, until you have in fact forgiven them in your mind, because God might have already forgiven them. They might have asked for forgiveness, never come to you. But what is crazy is that you spot them a year after or some months after. And if you did not forgive them, all the emotions of what happened comes right back to you. And some people could end up with a headache because they just saw the person pass in a car. The person didn't see them, but they end up with a headache. They end up with migraine and stuff like that, and they start feeling sick. And the person went their merry way, well as ever.
And they are fine.
They are fine.
You have to take a trip to the pharmacy.
Exactly. You understand? So, and this is how emotion affects our blood and obviously affects our health.
I wanted to know the difference between the white blood cells and the red blood cells. I noticed that you said in the program that I listened to, that the blood cells are responsible for oxygen and nutrition. So I'm wondering which one does what, and also which one is any of them connected to the lymphatic system?
So the red blood cells are responsible for transportation. So they transport oxygen, they transport nutrition, to the other cells in the body. When they do that, they also pick up waste material to dump out, and then they go back and they pick up more oxygen and more nutrition and transport again to the cell. So they're doing that continuously, whole day, every day. So this is what they do. The white blood cells, their job is a lot different. They are like the military. They are the protective forces. They're the guys that protect you from viruses and bacteria, and they deal with toxins and a number of things. So they go and they patrol through the blood. So they're in the plasma, they're in the tissues themselves sometimes too, because you have specialized cells, just like how we have the police service, we have the army, we have different things. Even within the police service, we have specialized the white blood cells. Yes, and we have a group called the NK cells. They are the natural killer cells, and they are the cells that are particularly produced to deal with cancer. So they get into the bloodstream and move from the bloodstream into the tissue to deal with the cancer that might be wherever in the body. So these are the difference between the two, and the lymphatic system. So we have the white blood cells operating from there. So the white blood cells are definitely connected to the lymphatic system.
You mentioned earlier on in terms of the blood itself, when you do a blood assessment test, can you explain that a bit more in terms of what can a blood assessment test show us? What can it say about our bodies?
Okay, very well. Well, we do two tests here at the Lifestyle Medicine Center. So we do the live blood test, and we do something called an oxidative stress test. The live blood is just that. The blood is alive, and it's done live in front of you. So we take 1 drop of capillary blood and put that under the microscope, as I said before. And what we are able to do, well, it is displayed. So what you are going to see is your blood cells. There are almost 1 million red blood cells going to be displayed on the screen. So we're going to have it in a low magnification at first, and we're able to do an overall look at it. What we are looking at in that low magnification is to see the circulation issues, how the blood is actually functioning, if it is aggregated, if it is in a formation called rouleau, if the cells are separated, if we have blood flow properly, if we have proper blood flow. So we're able to see things like that in that. And then we magnify it a little more and we look a little closer. We get into the plasma itself. So now we are able to see. So the first look, the blood was looking like about the size, I'm talking about the red blood cells. They're looking about the size of a lentil piece, a grain of lentil piece. So they're about that size. Okay. When we carry up the magnification, it now looks about the size of a Crisp biscuit. So we are able to look and see any membrane damage. We are able to look at the density of the cells themselves. We are able to look at the shape. We are able to look at the sizes of the cells. And all of these things says something. So for instance, if a blood cell is in an oval shape, it is called an ovalocyte. That tells us that you are having a hormonal issue. So if we see a lot of ovalocytes, we know that hormones not in order. If we are seeing, sometimes you see the cells, instead of looking like, the Crisp biscuit going to be a little smooth, but the Dixie biscuit has like bumps in it, right? The edge is more like a crown cork, it is like that. So once you see that, we're having probably some oxygen problem, and then you would actually be able to see microbes attacking the cells. When you look at the density of the cells, if light is shining through the center of the cells, you know that, okay, your iron level is low, your hemoglobin is low. So we're able to, just on the red blood cells, we're able to tell quite a bit as to what is going on. If we have large red blood cells, what we call macrocytes, or we look at the small red blood cells, they're called microcytes. And that is usually when there's a B vitamin issue with absorption or not enough B vitamin in the system and so forth. So we see a lot just at looking at the red blood cells. And then we're able to look into the plasma itself. And this is the clear liquid in which the red blood cells float, and you would see the white blood cells moving through and stuff like that. And we look in the plasma for signs like risk factor for things like stroke. So we'll be able to see certain proteins called fibrinogen. Fibrinogen is like fiber. So it is part of your clotting factor. And but we do not want the blood clotting within the bloodstream. So if you get a cut, yes, we want to know that the body could produce fibrinogen, rush it to the site. It mixed together with platelets, because platelets is sticky. Fibrinogen is like fiber, so it actually crisscross on the platelets. You have your things like your vitamin K and other components are going to come together to block the flow of blood out of the body. So we want that, but we do not want that happening inside of your bloodstream. So it's like a river that has overflown because there are a lot of sticks and branches coming down in the river after heavy rain. It is going to cause the river to dam, and it's going to cause problems. And it's the same thing that is going to happen inside of us. Again, what you're also able to see is the white blood cells, how they're functioning. And just to share something, sugar is not the best thing for your white blood cells. 2 candy bars could actually shut down your immune system. So when we're talking white blood cells,
I see Melina hiding her face.
when we are talking white blood cells, we are talking the immune system.
Doc, we're all guilty. I don't think Thanks for coming here, Doc. Thanks, Doc. Have a good one.
You have to put the sugar card.
Well, we have mangoes in the world. So you could take sugar from a fruit source, and you cannot beat the mangoes in Trinidad. I think I've traveled a bit, and I've never tasted mango as good as the mangoes in Trinidad and Tobago. So we have starch, we have Julie, we have a number of stuff, I just call a few. And still, to me, long mango is still a big thing. If you get nice quality long mango that's well stale, it's just the fiber and the thread for some people because they don't like it sticking in there.
Stick up in your teeth. Yeah.
But it helps to sweep your colon too, So.
Okay. All right.
So, but coming back to the sugar, 2 candy bars could shut down your white blood cells in anything like about 3 hours. So what you will notice, parents who give their kids a lot of sugary snack, they're not just hyperactive. What you would find is that they tend to contract the cold and stuff like that a lot easier than other kids. You would see also that sometimes they start getting little skin problems as well. So because the sugar actually affects the white blood cells, which are your protectors. Not only that, it actually causes the blood cells to stick together and cut down oxygenation. Go to any doctor, whether it is a naturopath or whether it is an MD, they would usually ask a family history, and they would want to know if there are any diabetics in the family, if there's any cancer in the family, if there's any people who are hypertensive. They want a family history. Yeah. And sometimes we have been left a legacy of diabetes in some families. We have been left a legacy of cancer in some families. We have been left a legacy of hypertension in some families, and so forth, and it's not the best legacy to leave. We could do better. And it starts with us understanding, because we want to treat our children so nice. We want to give our children things that we probably did not have, so we try to spoil them. But sometimes I wonder if people are really buying that for something like a pal, or if they're actually really buying that for their kids.
It's the last month.
But I see the amount of snacks. It is crazy. But I know some private schools do not allow parents to send their children with snacks. If it's a snack, it has to be fruit. They want them to bring water instead of juice.
I was about to say that. A lot of them, my daughter's school, juice, water.
Yes, and it is for good reason. They become better students because oxygen is able to flow to the brain so much better, and therefore they're able to learn so much better. Their attention span is so much better. But sugar is never your best deal, and it is actually called by us in the naturopathic field as the cancer diet. Is one of the things that could contribute big times to cancer. Mothers have such an important role to play as far as legacy. The mothers are the people who actually create generations and create kings and presidents. It's more the mothers than the fathers. And
You're talking to three women here, so all we can do is shake and say, we have to allow the man to talk, like.
Yeah. As it said, the men are the head, but the women are the neck.
Yes, I've heard that.
Direction. So it's all of that. But I'm saying, clearly that we need to leave a good legacy for our children, and it starts with them, from young. For the next generation, it starts with the children. So we have to know and understand what is actually the best thing to do because raising children is an awesome responsibility, because we are raising people for the future to take over the next generation. We ought to be raising responsible, healthy, God-fearing children, and God-fearing children and healthy children become healthy, God-fearing, responsible adults. And our job as parents is always to prepare the children for independence, for that transition of when they're going to be on their own and be able to make right decisions and stuff like that. So one of the things I want to really implore the mothers, or sometimes it's the dads, are the chef, because I know a lot of homes now, the dads are the people who prepare the food, where the guys
I do lunch. My husband, he does breakfast and dinner.
Okay, you see what I mean? So because he is the person who is preparing the meals, he needs to understand the role that food plays as far as your health is concerned, and not to take it for granted, because eating, as I always say, is not just about filling up a space in your tummy.
Yeah.
Eating was designed for a way that the body would get proper nutrition, so that the body could actually repair, that the body could protect itself, that the body would be able to take care of us and build, and it's not just taste. God in his wisdom made sure and give us taste, but so that we would enjoy the experience, so that we would not be like robotic and say, well, okay, we have to be pumping in nutrition, but we would enjoy the experience. And the experience is also nice when you're eating good quality food and you're eating it as a family together. That's something that we are losing as a family. We don't sit enough and eat at the same table and that kind of stuff, because everybody is so busy.
Yes.
And stuff like that. So we want to see all these things come back.
Yeah.
Yes, and all of that. So so we want to see that we leave a good legacy of health for our family, because we could talk on legacies and other things, but I'm here to talk about health. Yes, you could be born with a predisposition to diabetes or high blood pressure and stuff like that, but it is more your lifestyle. So we say it like this. Genetics loads the gun, but it is your lifestyle that pulls the trigger.
Wow.
So we have to understand that. And a lot of times that we are thinking genetics, it is not genetics. It is the way that we have been eating as a family. People think that it cannot be reversed. Yes, you could prevent it with lifestyle, but let me tell you something. You could also reverse it with lifestyle. And it just goes, like it's like 1 and 1 making 2. If lifestyle, and that is a bad lifestyle, brought on the disease, don't you think by reversing your lifestyle, adopting a good lifestyle now could cause the disease to revert?
The importance of drinking water. Could you make a statement on that?
Well, if we're talking good blood quality, you're also talking the use of water. Water is absolutely important when it comes to your skin, your beauty, stopping wrinkles, What's that?
Acne as well.
Yes, acne and all of that. Water is absolutely important. Our body is something like about 70% water, and we need to actually keep our water intake up. Most people are clinically dehydrated and they do not know. So you could drink
What's the
some
recommended amount?
The recommended amount of water, while it has to do with activity as well, but your recommended amount of water is half your body weight in ounces. So in other words, if you're 120 pounds, you should be drinking about 60 ounces, not 60 ounces of water.
Dr. Clarke, thank you so much for taking time to be with us here today on the evening show. I'm pretty sure the ladies appreciate.
Yes, we did. Thank you so much.
Yes, well, it's always a pleasure, and I was in very good company this evening, so I look forward to doing that anytime again.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
I will make a note. You'll be back.
Okay, great. All right, then.
All right.
Okay.
All right, guys, keep it locked. The evening show. Thank you so much, guys, for viewing episode 3, The Evening Show. And we got to say a special thanks, ladies, to our guest, Dr. James Clarke.
Yes.
It was full. Thank you.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was full. A full plate.
Oh, yeah.
A full plate. Don't mind me take off my plate because
no candy. No more candy.
No candy, no juice. Sugar is a poison.
Drink water. Drink water.
Dude, movie night. What are we doing? Are we going to be eating on cucumbers? What is happening?
Blend those mangoes. Gonna make smoothies. Movie night.
Smoothies, yeah.
So guys, be sure to subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at The Evening Show TT. Check us out on Facebook as well. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next Sunday, the 23rd of August. We're gonna be looking for you. Rachel Cowie-Clarke, Melina the Silva, saying bye for now.
Bye.